Hello students, today I will be discussing chapter number 10 Haloalkanes and Haloarenes. This is the first chapter of your second book and the topic that I will be covering is preparation of haloalkanes. Okay, now in the preparation of haloalkanes there are three main methods. As you can see, they are written from alcohols, from hydrocarbons and halogen. Third one is halogen exchange method. So let's start it one by one. Let's see the first method now. The first method for the preparation of haloalkanes is from alcohols. Okay. Now see, as it is written in the slide, that by treating with halogen acids, this is the lab preparation method. Okay. Now as you can see, it is written in the presence of anhydrous zinc chloride and concentrated sulfuric acid. See, it is written in the presence of anhydrous zinc chloride or concentrated sulfuric acid. Now if you look into the reaction, it is written ROH plus HX giving out Rx plus H2O. Now this method particularly I will discuss in detail. Okay. Now as you can see, the reaction is ROH plus HX in the presence of ZnCl2 gives Rx plus H2O. Okay students, this reaction is known as Grove's reaction. Okay, this reaction is known as Grove's reaction. Now if you see what is happening, OH of the alcohol is replaced by halogen. Okay, OH of the alcohol is replaced by halogen by the treatment of halogen acid in the presence of anhydrous zinc chloride ZnCl2. Okay, so what is happening? This alcohol we take as the reactant and we replace the OH group by a halogen group to form the haloalkane. Now if you see this OH and this X, OH is OH minus and then here X stands for halogen, which can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine or iodine, and it will be also negative. So this reaction is known as nucleophilic substitution reaction. This reaction is known as nucleophilic substitution reaction. Why nucleophilic? Because these are nucleophiles. Okay, as these are nucleophiles, which means nucleus loving. Okay, and they carry a negative charge. So this reaction is known as nucleophilic substitution reaction. Again I am repeating, what will happen in this reaction? In this reaction, OH of the alcohol is replaced by X by the treatment of halogen acid in the presence of anhydrous ZnCl2. Okay. Now one thing more that I told you, this reaction is known as Grove's reaction, plus this is also known as Lucas test. This test again you will study in alcohols also, but here also I am discussing in detail. This test is known as Lucas test. Now what does this mean? See, As I told you, Lucas test. This is known as Lucas test. Okay. And this ZnCl2 and HX are together known as Lucas reagent. This HX plus ZnCl2 are together known as Lucas reagent. Now, what is the function of ZnCl2 in this? It helps in the cleavage of CO bond as it acts as a Lewis acid and coordinates with oxygen of the alcohol. So, the CO bond weakens and breaks to form a carbocation which reacts with chloride ion to form chloroalkane. Okay, this was the function of ZnCl2. It acts as a Lewis acid. Lewis acid. And helps in the cleavage of this CO bond, okay, and leads to the formation of a carbocation. So, as you have understood, this reaction proceeds via the formation of carbocation, and this you have studied in 11th class that 3-degree carbocation is the most stable. Okay, so if we talk about the order of reactivity, then we can see that the order of reactivity followed here is 3-degree alcohol, then 2-degree alcohol and 1-degree alcohol. So 3-degree or tertiary alcohol is most reactive, then secondary and then primary alcoholic group. Okay, tertiary alcoholic group is very reactive, and in fact the reaction for tertiary alcohol can take place in the absence of ZnCl2 also. So this order also you need to remember that 3-degree alcohol or tertiary alcohol is the most reactive, and then the secondary and then the primary. And if I talk about this halogen acid, then you need to remember that Hi is most reactive, then HBr and then HCl. Now what is the reason behind this? The reason behind this is the bond of Hi is very distant or very large and can be easily broken. So I is considered as a good leaving group. Okay, good leaving element. So for Hi the reaction is most, and then HBr and then HCl. These two series you need to remember. You need to remember the reaction first of all, that alcohol reacts in the presence of Lucas reagent to form haloalkane. Okay, and then 3-degree is most reactive, then 2-degree, then 1-degree, and Hi, then HBr and HCl. This series also you need to remember. Now, if we talk particularly about the chapter alcohol, then you will study that this Lucas test is used to distinguish between 3-degree, 2-degree and 1-degree alcohol. Why? See, as we have seen, if we talk about 3-degree alcohol, 3-degree alcohol I am talking about, or tertiary alcohol, then in this case if we add Lucas reagent, which is, if I write HCl plus ZnCl2, okay, if I add HCl plus ZnCl2, then I will write turbidity. Here turbidity appears immediately. Now what is it? I will explain it to you. First you see what are the three things that you will observe. For 3-degree alcohol, if I put Lucas reagent, then turbidity will appear immediately. And for 2-degree alcohol, what will happen? Here if I write Lucas reagent, turbidity will appear after 5 minutes. Turbidity will appear after 5 minutes. And for 1-degree alcohol, if I add Lucas reagent, then what will happen? No reaction at room temperature. No reaction at room temperature. If we heat, then it is possible, but no reaction at room temperature. These things are very important. You need to remember it. Okay. So, what will happen? You should know that alcohols are soluble in Lucas reagent, while their halides are not soluble, and they produce turbidity in solution. Okay, I repeat, alcohols are soluble in Lucas reagent, but their halides are not soluble or they are immiscible, and they produce turbidity in solution. Turbidity means milkiness. So, if there is a 3-degree alcohol, the turbidity will appear immediately. Okay. But if it is a 2-degree alcohol, then turbidity will appear after 5 minutes. And if it is a 1-degree alcohol, then there will be no reaction at room temperature. Okay, this was a difference test that you study in alcohol chapter as well, but I have explained you in detail in this itself. Okay, in this chapter itself. Fine. So this was the first reaction that we have studied about methods of preparation of haloalkanes from alcohols. See, again I am showing you. I have told you in the starting itself that we are covering preparation of haloalkanes. Okay, students. And the first method from alcohols, in this methods itself there are many methods, there are 4 to 5 methods. So from alcohols, first method I have discussed with you. Fine. Now see, this method I have discussed with you in detail. The first method, which is known as groove reaction or Lucas test. Okay. Now let's move on to the second. What is there? We are preparing from alcohol itself. Okay. This also we are preparing for alcohols, but in this case the reagent is different. It is PCl5. Okay. So what happens here also? I have told you all these reactions are nucleophilic substitution reaction. Here when an alcohol reacts with PCl5 phosphorus pentachloride, then OH group is replaced by Cl group. Okay, you can leave these side products, you can only write the main product. Okay, this is known as phosphorus oxychloride. POCl3 is known as phosphorus oxychloride. Again, if I take an alcohol and add PX3, X can be anything. If it is Cl, then we will call it as phosphorus chloride. The product formed again will be an haloalkane with a side product H3PO3. This is known as phosphorus acid. You can leave it and you can only write the main product in both the cases. Okay. So, phosphorus halides, whether it is pentachloride or trichloride, react with alcohols and produce haloalkanes. Okay. Again I am repeating, in this method from alcohols, if we add any of the phosphorus chloride, whether it is pentachloride or trichloride, what will happen? We will get the desired product, which is haloalkanes. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. See, as it is written, again alcohol reacts in the presence of red phosphorus oblique X2 is written, and it can be either Br2 or I2. Okay. So, phosphorus, these two will react. Okay. Here it is showing that red phosphorus will react with any of the X2, which can be Br2 or I2, to form phosphorus tribromide or triiodide, and this is known as in situ preparation of the reagent. This is known as in situ preparation of the reagent. Why we are doing this? We are preparing phosphorus tribromide and triiodide within the reaction because they are very reactive. Okay. So these two are prepared during the reaction. Okay, and then what will happen? This OH group is again replaced and X is added to form haloalkane. Fine. Now let us see the last method. See what is written here. ROH plus SOCl2. SOCl2 is known as thionyl chloride. Okay, again nucleophilic substitution reaction will take place and RCl will be formed, OH will be replaced, RCl will be formed and SO2 and HCl are formed. Here these two SO2 and HCl are gases and they will escape and we will get RCl as the main product. So this is the most preferred method. Okay, again I am repeating. The last method that I have discussed with you, what happens? The alcohol ROH reacts with thionyl chloride SOCl2 to form RCl plus SO2 plus HCl. Both these side products formed are escapable gases, leaving behind pure alkyl halide as major product. So this is the most preferred method among all the methods that I have discussed with you from alcohols. This one is the most preferred method, and the reason you should know that these two are what? Escapable gases, leaving behind the main product, which is alkyl halide. Fine. So these all methods were among alcohol itself. Okay. So how many methods we have discussed, or how many reactions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 reactions come under alcohols. That alcohols can be converted into haloalkanes and the reagents can be different. Fine. Now let's move on to our next method. See, our next method is preparation from alkanes, and this method comes under preparation from hydrocarbons. If you refer your NCERT, it comes under the heading preparation from hydrocarbons, and the first method is preparation from alkanes. Okay, now see what is written. By reaction of Cl2 or Br2 in the presence of UV light, okay, UV ultraviolet light, or at high temperature. So what will happen? This is a free radical substitution reaction. Okay, this is a free radical substitution reaction. In this we will take any of the alkanes. Okay, we will take any of the alkanes, and in the presence of UV light or high temperature, this one of the hydrogen will be substituted by a halogen and we will get haloalkane. Okay, now as you can see that it follows a free radical chlorination or bromination of alkanes. It will give a mixture of isomeric mono and polyhaloalkanes. Okay, now one by one this halogen can be replaced as this product is written. and subsequently many products can be formed, which forms a mixture of isomeric mono or polyhaloalkanes. Okay, and this follow a free radical mechanism that you have studied in your 11th as well. Now see, iodination and fluorination cannot be brought about in the same manner. Iodination of alkanes is usually not carried out since the reaction is highly endothermic and reversible. This is the reason why iodination is not carried out, and fluorination of alkanes is explosive in nature. So basically chlorination is carried out in the presence of UV light. Hydrogen, one by one hydrogen can be replaced to give the desired product. This was the first method under hydrocarbons in which we have prepared from alkanes. Okay. Now let's move on to the next method. Preparation from alkenes. Okay. Again, this is a very important reaction and you have studied a part of it in your 11th also. Preparation from alkenes. See students. Now I will discuss the second method, preparation from alkenes. Okay, now what will happen in this case? An alkene is converted into corresponding alkyl halide by the reaction with hydrogen chloride, okay, or hydrogen bromide or hydrogen iodide. Now you know, suppose if I take a general example, C double bond C. This is an alkene. This will react with HX. If I substitute Cl, it will become HCl. If I substitute Br, it will become HBr. And if I substitute I, it will become HI. What will happen? The double bond will break and the corresponding product is formed. Now see, here H will come and here X will come. Now since this is a symmetrical alkene, so this HX will break down. This will generate H plus and this will generate X minus, and here when the double bond is broken, then we can attach H or X to any sides. Okay, if I attach X here and H here, then again it is the same product. There will be no difference. But if we have, this is known as symmetrical alkene. But if we have an unsymmetrical alkene, for example, if I see the reaction of CH3, CH, double bond CH2, okay, this is propene. This is an unsymmetrical alkene, which means that if we divide it from the double bond group, then we will not get a symmetrical structure. Okay. Now, if I react it with HI, suppose. Now, there are two possibilities. When this bond will break, then here H will come or I will come, or here I will come or here H will come. In both the cases, we will get different products. But in order to decide this, we will follow a rule which is known as Markovnikov rule. This is known as Markovnikov rule. And the statement for this rule is that the negative part of the addendum gets attached to that carbon atom which possesses lesser number of hydrogen atom. Here the negative part of the addendum, which is I minus, will attach to that carbon atom which has lesser number of hydrogen atoms. Okay, it means it will attach here. So here I will come and here H will come. This will be the case. The major product formed in this case will be CH3, CHI, CH3. This is in accordance to Markovnikov rule. So again you need to remember, if the alkene that we have is symmetrical, there will be no issues to where H will go and where I will go. But if we have an unsymmetrical alkene, what we will do? We will follow Markovnikov rule and the negative part of the addendum will add to that carbon atom which contain lesser number of hydrogen atoms. Fine. Now see students, there is an exception to this rule which is known as Kharash effect or peroxide effect, and it is also known as anti-Markovnikov rule. You can say it as anti-Markovnikov rule. What will happen? In the presence of peroxide, the addition of HBr to unsymmetrical alkenes take place contrary to Markovnikov rule. See, as I have discussed the example with you, in this example, the major product I discussed in the last slide, but in this case the opposite will happen and the major product will be as it is shown. This will be the major product. Now one more thing you need to remember, this anti-Markovnikov rule is applied in the presence of peroxide and also it is applied only for HBr. It is not applied for HCl or HI. Okay. So we can prepare haloalkanes from alkenes under two rules, Markovnikov rule and anti-Markovnikov rule. Now let's see the next method. This again method will come under preparation from hydrocarbons. Here preparation from alkenes is being done. Okay. By addition of bromine in CCl4 to an alkene forms vicinal dibromides and the reddish brown color of the bromine is discharged. See what is being done. Here we have taken one alkene which is ethene and we have added Br2 in CCl4. Okay. Bromine in CCl4 and the product we got is a vicinal dibromide. Okay, this is an haloalkane. Fine. Now you must know that this test is used for the detection of double bond. This test is used for the detection of double bond. Why? This bromine is reddish brown in color and when the reaction is completed, the product formed is colorless. So, if we have an unknown solution and we need to find out whether it is alkane or alkene, then what we will do? We will simply add bromine water to it. And if the color is discharged or a colorless solution is obtained, then we can say that it is a double bond or an alkene. And if it is not change into colorless solution, then it is an alkane. So this test is used for the detection of double bond. Okay. Now let's move on to our last method, which is known as halogen exchange method. Okay students, this method is known as halogen exchange method and here two important name reactions are covered. See, as it is written, Finkelstein reaction and Schwarz reaction. You need to remember these reactions by name. What is happening? As the name suggests, halogen exchange reaction, one halogen will be exchanged by another halogen. See, in Finkelstein reaction, the alkyl bromide or chloride is heated with concentrated solution of sodium iodide in dry acetone. The reaction is written Rx plus NaI giving out Ri plus NaX. This reaction is known as Finkelstein reaction. Okay. Alkyl iodides are prepared by the reaction of alkyl chlorides or bromides with NaI in dry acetone. Okay. This particularly what will be formed? Alkyl iodides are formed, and this reaction is known as Finkelstein reaction. Now see the next reaction. By heating alkyl chlorides and bromides with metallic fluorides such as AgF, Hg2, F2, COF2 and SbF3, what will be formed? Alkyl fluorides will be formed. Okay, see here what we have taken, bromomethane reacts with silver fluoride to forms fluoromethane. This reaction is known as Schwarz reaction. Okay, again I am repeating, in halogen exchange method you have to remember two reactions by name, which is known as Finkelstein, and it is used for the preparation of particularly alkyl iodides. And then you need to remember Schwarz reaction, which is used for the preparation particularly of fluoro products, alkyl fluorides. Okay. So you need to remember the reagent in both the cases. For the first it is sodium iodide in dry acetone, and for Schwarz reaction it is metallic fluoride like AgF, silver fluoride. Fine. So I hope all these methods are clear to you that I have discussed with you. Okay. I have discussed with you mainly three methods for the preparation of haloalkanes. First is from alcohols, in which we have seen many of the reagents, 4 or 5 reagents that we have seen, and I have told you the thionyl chloride reagent reaction is the preferred one. Second, we have done from hydrocarbons. In this we have studied in two parts. First is from alkanes, in which we have studied free radical mechanism. Second is from alkenes, in which we have covered two topics. One is according to Markovnikov rule, the other is according to anti-Markovnikov rule. Okay, and the third that we have studied is halogen exchange reaction, in which we have studied two name reaction. Okay, Finkelstein and Schwarz reaction. You need to remember Finkelstein and Schwarz reaction. Okay, I hope the topic is clear to you now. All the methods are clear to you. Thank you.